Hello everybody, my name is Jack Shepherd, and today I'm going to tell you guys about how I discovered the carnivore diet. I am going to make a playlist of all the videos that I discovered on my journey so you guys can experience what I experienced and hopefully get the same good result out of it. I just want to say, just to be clear here, I've been doing 4 months of carnivore right now, and it's changed my health completely. Like I have so much more energy and I feel so much better. It's quite crazy. But before I start talking about my own experiences, I'm gonna share some experiences with you guys by showing you guys some clips of the video that I started out with. So enjoy, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been vegan for the last 3 or 4 years, and for the majority of that time, I've actually been predominantly fruit-based. And, well, now I eat a carnivore diet. And in this video, I'm gonna share why I made what I think has been the most imperative shift in my diet that I've ever made in my life, considering that my goals are, well, just to live a happy, healthy life full of vitality, all right? And in short, if you don't want to watch this whole video, basically, I just realized that humans are biologically, anatomically designed to eat meat. We thrive on animal fats. And yeah, in this video, I'm gonna go over my main 3 kind of realizations that I came to that led me to make this shift. I honestly haven't felt this good in many, many years. And I think by the end of this video, it should be pretty obvious why that's the case. Number 1, our ancestors ate meat and were thriving. Number 2, meat is delicious. You see this everywhere in nature. Animals are naturally attracted to what is going to nourish their bodies, okay? And okay, there maybe is some random case where they might eat some plant that kills them, but that's because plants are trying to kill us. And I'll dive more into that. That's point number 3, actually. But as a rule, what is desirable is nourishing.
There you go, guys. That's the video that I saw as the very first thing. The way that I discovered this video was a little bit funny, though. I kind of want to get into the background story a little bit before I explain what experiences I had on carnivore so far. So I was having some issues with my stomach, and I was fatigued, and I felt bad, and I was 15 kilograms heavier than I am now. So I wanted to change something. I wanted to change what I ate because I was like, it must be my food, because everything else, I mean, I'm doing everything else right, but the food seems to be the only thing that I didn't really think about for some reason. So I started talking to my colleagues about it at work, and one of them said, like, I should totally try out vegan, because vegan is the best way, and you'll definitely lose weight, and it's good for the environment. And then he went on a long tangent on how good it was for the environment, and I was like, I mean, I care about the environment because it's where I live, but you know, it's not the main reason for me doing this. I just wanted to have a healthier life, right, and actually lose the weight that I felt I had too much of, right? So I was like, and some of the numbers that he gave me were like completely off the rails, like 50% more, like meat is like 50% more costly for the environment, and all this wrong shit that it wasn't right, because I could look it up on my phone and it was definitely not it. And we're talking about stats in Denmark, by the way, so it might be a little bit different other places, but the numbers are not correct, not even the ones that I then found, because the math is skewed. It's not, they take like numbers that they want, and then they exclude some other stuff to actually make it look good. So it's completely haywire. But anyways, so I went home that evening, and I was like, this is so strange to me, man. Like, okay, I need to look into this vegan thing, because, you know, maybe he's right. Maybe it's because I'm eating too much fat and stuff. but I was living on a Western diet, right? So I was doing maybe 30% meat, and then I was doing very little fat, I guess. Like I was eating a little bit of fat, but it wasn't too much. I was eating a lot of sugar. I was eating a lot of carbohydrates. And I was like, and I had been doing carbohydrate control. Like I was trying to control my carbs, right? And I just felt miserable. Like it felt like I was starving, even though I was eating like 4 or 5 times a day, and it was bad, man. It was freaking bad. Anyways, I went home. I looked at YouTube and Rumble and where else I could find stuff and things. And every time I looked at a video from a vegan, they looked unhealthy. They looked very skin, like very thin. Sorry, very thin, and their skin looked like it was not healthy, and it just didn't. I didn't want to look like a skeleton. That was not the goal. The goal was to get healthier, and still lose weight. And then I stumbled upon the video that you just saw from our good buddy Eron Edwards. And by the way, check out his video. I am linking it down below where you can watch the full video. And I highly recommend going down there and watching the full video because he makes some very, very good observations and some really good points. I found his video and I was like, this makes way more sense to me. This actually makes way more sense to me because, humans have a big brain compared to how big their body is. So we need a lot of nutrients and we need a lot of energy to actually run our brain. And I just thought this sounds better than going vegan. This going carnivore sounds like more the correct way to do it. And this guy also looked like he was improving greatly. Like he went from being the vegan skeleton that I had seen like a bunch of people being to actually looking like a healthy dude, right? His issue though was kind of the opposite of mine. He couldn't gain weight, and he couldn't gain muscle mass. And I was trying to lose weight, right? I was trying to lose weight, and but I actually did think that I don't want to lose my muscle mass, right? I want to gain muscle mass while also losing weight. So I decided to not go straight into carnivore. I decided to slowly adapt carnivore. And I also took some other ideas that I had in my own head. I wanted to do, because I read that the Romans used to do one meal a day, and then they had a little snack in the evening, and that's it. So I decided that if the Romans, which were considered some of the most healthy people in the world, at their height at least, if the Romans could live healthy by just doing one meal a day, I would probably be okay with that too. So I started slowly dialing down my breakfast and dialing back my evening meal, and then eating more for dinner in the middle of the day, right? So I started eating more in the middle of the day, and then slowly turning down the two other times where I ate, until breakfast was completely gone and my evening meal was completely gone. Then I ate maybe twice as much for dinner. And I was a little bit lucky because at work we have a cantina where we actually have some food, and there's decent amount of meat, right? But I started substituting my meal with extra meat for dinner, and then I started eating more focused slowly. I started with my 30%, and then slowly over 2 weeks, I became 80% carnivore. And there is a fair warning that I want to give you guys if you decide to start on this that I didn't know at the time. There are 5 phases of carnivore, and there's something called the carnivore flu, which can be a little bit problematic for some people. For me, it was not that bad. It was 2 days, 2.5 days, and then I was fine. But essentially what happens is when you switch your body from running on carbohydrates to actually running on fat, because that's what happens. Your body needs fuel no matter what you do. But when you are eating a Western diet where you eat all these vegetables and sugar and all that stuff, your body is burning carbohydrates and storing fat, right? That's what's happening. That's why the doctor is like, oh man, you must be eating a lot of fat because your body is storing fat, but that's not the reason why, right? So what happens is that like after 2 weeks, your carbohydrate or your carbs are going to be depleted, and your body is going to be really angry at you because it's like, where's my fuel? What is happening, man? I'm used to eating 5 days, 5 times a day, and there's no carbs left, right? There's only this fat that I'm just putting on the shelves. And the reason for that is that like carbohydrates are easier to burn than fat is, but fat burns slower and for a longer time, right? For a longer period of time. So when your body switches from carbohydrates to fat, you will have. I had like 2.5 days where I felt bad, man. I felt like I was going through withdrawal or something. I felt I had no energy. I felt like I nothing really hurt, but I just felt like I had no energy. I felt depressed, and I was like, damn, man, this doesn't. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but it's just I just feel sad and no energy. This took like 2 days, and I kept eating meat and fat and just doing my thing, and I just just ran through it, I guess. And I was like, maybe I should just work out or something. So I tried running. That was not a great idea. It kind of took my mind off it for like a half day, but it was not good. But then after I got through the 3 days, I woke up and I remember thinking to myself, I feel great. And then I sat up. It wasn't like where you're like crawling out of your bed, right? I sat up and I was like, I feel lighter too. I feel like I have more energy. I feel great. I went up and I realized that I had woken up like 30 minutes before my alarm clock, which was a little bit weird. And then I was like, okay, let me just get dressed and make my dinner and all that, and make ready for the day. And then I went to work, and I felt great. I felt really good. I noticed very shortly when I started working that I felt more sharp. I was better at like thinking. I didn't have like, I guess you call it brain fog or something. I didn't have the thing where I couldn't concentrate. And that had also been a big issue that I had earlier, but I just didn't realize that actually was an issue until I started burning fat instead of carbohydrates. So the changes here are crazy. Like they are absolutely out of this world. And like I said, I've been doing this for 4 months now, and I am still improving. Like everything is still improving. I'm going to talk about the improvements that I've been making in another video, like what I've been experiencing. But for the start, this was what I experienced. And I'm not a doctor. I don't know if this will work for you, but I highly suggest giving it a try and get through the like period where you the first phase of carnivore, which is essentially 2 weeks, and then you probably get the carnivore flu. If you get through that phase, you are going to be way better off. And then just keep eating meat and fat. And the ratio of meat and fat is a little bit different from person to person, but believe me, it is worth it. It is really worth it. It is so good. It is so good. All right, guys. That's it for this video. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.